Okay, take two. I got 8 minutes in talking about this topic, and it's such a complicated topic, talking about God. So why do I believe in a higher power? That's what I want to talk about. Okay. Thank you for coming into my channel. If anyone watches this and is interested, and you stay for anything more than a couple minutes, I appreciate it. I do, because you're taking time to watch me, someone just talking about why I believe in God. And so why I believe in God is because the other arguments that I've heard, like multiple universes, and like different kinds of realities forming after the Big Bang, an eternally expanding and contracting universe, those arguments don't make sense. It makes more sense for me personally. Okay, so first, why I don't agree with, when it comes to the multiple universes and multiple realities, unfortunately, I'm just not. I've tried to understand that argument, and the math and the physics I don't understand it. Physics apparently at this point breaks down. They don't understand, like physics at this level is so complicated, right? I don't understand it. So I shouldn't say I reject it, but I'm just saying I just don't understand it, unfortunately. I really don't. The argument for an expanding and contracting universe infinitely, I do understand that argument. And I can tell you why I reject that argument. And the reason why I reject that argument is because in order for that to be the case, you would have to have the same series of events happen every single time into infinity. And the series of events would be, you have an explosion, okay, the Big Bang. So, okay, let's bring up a piece of paper here. There we go. Okay. You could see this dot, right? Okay, so you have an explosion from this point, and the point is 1 trillion times smaller than that, 100 trillion times smaller than that, right? And that's the point of explosion. And explodes outward, okay? And it's speeding up, they say, and they say it's going faster than the speed of light. The universe, the known universe, is 94 billion light years across, and the Big Bang, they figure, happened about 13.678 billion years ago. So the universe, right, should be 27.5 billion light years across. It's 94, almost more than 3 times larger than what it should be. So it's going faster than the speed of light. It's expanding apart faster than the speed of light, and it's speeding up, is getting faster. I don't understand those kind of arguments. I really don't. Okay. The complicated reasons why they think it's speeding up. Okay. So, the universe is expanding. Okay. And in order for it to contract back in on itself, you have to have, like the example of the Milky Way galaxy and our neighboring galaxy. They're rotating around each other. And they figure that both of them will combine. Okay? Now, you have a supermassive black hole. They just found a picture of it. They just found a picture of a supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. Right? They got a picture of it. Okay? And so then, theoretically, you could have a supermassive black hole at the middle of our neighboring galaxy. Okay? And then they rotate around each other. And then during those times, everything contracts into the supermassive black hole in our galaxy, and then the supermassive black hole in the neighboring galaxy. And they combine and they become one ultra super mega black hole, right? Now, this galaxy, I guess this is moving away from another part in space, right? The stars that we see are moving away from us, they've said. Okay. Yeah, so the supermass, so in order for the expansion and contraction theory to work, it has to happen every single time. So you have the bang, everything expands out, right? And then eventually contracts back in. Now, when they say that the universe is expanding and eventually will just become a bunch of white dot, a series of 2 trillion supermassive black holes, infinitely apart, like hundreds and trillions of miles apart from each other, in the super far distant future, right? So the everything has to eventually contract back in on itself, and this has to happen every single time. But if everything's traveling apart from each other and it's speeding up, I mean, eventually it's going to speed up and speed up and speed up, and everything will become apart from everything. Okay? And it will become so far apart from everything that the gravitational forces won't work, and then it won't contract back in on itself. Right? So, in order for everything to expand and contract for infinity, that can't happen. Right? So, you can't have everything expanding beyond the grasp of gravity, other gravitational forces. You can't have everything expand out, right? Because it has to expand, contract back in, all to a certain point in 300 quadrillion years. It has to expand back in to a certain point again, and then blow out and expand back in and blow out, right? So I don't think that will happen, because from what I understand, everything is expanding out and is expanding past gravitational forces, and eventually everything will become super dense black holes, billions and billions and billions and billions of light years apart from each other. Right? So if that's not the case, right, and I don't think that is the case, I think that it's an expand out, and then that's it. I don't think it's an expand out and come back in. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, point me to a video that I can watch. Share it with me in the comment section, and let me know what you think. Let me know why I'm wrong. Be respectful, but let me know why you think I'm wrong, or the faults in my arguments that I'm trying to lay out here, the best that I can, personally at least, right? Okay. So then you're left with, if that's not the case, expansion and contraction is not the case, then you're left with two. You're left with infinite realities and universes, or you're left with an outside force putting all the energy in the universe in one single point, and then expanding out from that point in history, 13.8 billion years ago, which is basically the Kalam argument, right? That's why there's a video that I watched, an hour-long video on why the Kalam argument should be dead. Basically, it's a video, and they talk about William Lane Craig and the problems with his argument. Very sophisticated, well thought out video. I found it on Paulogia. One second, sweetheart. I gotta finish up here in a minute. Right? Yeah, okay, so Paula Gia has a video out, and that's where I found this video not discrediting William Lane Craig, but just saying the problems with his reasoning and why the Kalam argument should be dead. All right? Or no one should realistically think about the Kalam argument. The problem is that I don't agree with the fundamental point that the universe has a beginning. Right? That there's an outside force putting all the energy in the universe in a single point and then everything expanding from that point. Right? And that's why I believe in a higher power, basically. And then everything coming from that. Now, whether or not that God is listening to our prayers and that outside force, the creator of that outside force, right? The creator of that outside force, if he hears our prayers and we're going to be with him in paradise and is protecting us and trying to guide us and teach us and communicate with us, that's a different argument, right? And then eventually I'll have to come up with a video as to why I agree or disagree with that kind of thought, right? And anyways, so you have an outside force putting all the energy in the universe into one point and then everything expanding from that point. So then the cause for this point that would be, then I would say, a higher power putting everything there, right? I can see the holes in my own argument already. I really can, because I can't discredit and intelligently talk about alternate universe theory and I don't understand the intricacies of an eternally expanding and contracting universe. I've pointed you to a video that I watched. I don't entirely agree with, but it's from Paula Gia, and it's in his playlist, and he brings a gentleman on, and they go over why the Kalam argument should be dead. They share a link in his description, and that link will take you to about an hour video as to why the problems with the Kalam argument. The problem is that in order for an eternally expanding and contracting universe to be true, that result has to happen every single time for all infinity. And all it takes is one time for the universe to expand outwards, and then that's it. The universe dies, and that's it. Right? Now, it's entirely possible that it's gone for infinity past, and now this time it's just going to expand. But I mean, dude, like when it comes to infinities, 100 trillion years is the same as one day. There's no time, there's no difference there, right? So you're telling me for eternity past that was happening, and then this time in 100 trillion years from now, long after I'm gone, that's what's going to happen, right? Because that's what I've heard, is that eventually everything will expand away from each other and everything will just be dense points in the entire universe, right? Yeah, I'm almost done. 1 second, sweetie. I'm almost done. Okay, so like I said, I gotta wrap up this video. I think my next video will be on why I think we're so special and why our time on this earth is so precious. I talked about in my last video, and then a video before that on Facebook, about martyrdom, okay? And like why I was like, please don't think that I'm throwing shade on someone sacrificing their life. And in my next video, I think I'll talk about why I think life is so important. And basically, you get one. One. And it's 75, 85 years, if you're lucky. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not even a drop in the bucket. So every moment you have on this life is precious. But I'm gonna expand on that and what I think about that next time. So if anyone's followed along, thank you so much. Really, I want to learn. I really want to learn. So share with me why you think the Kalam argument is dead and why you think it's eternally expanding and contracting universe. Point me in the right direction and I'll definitely look it out. I promise. On my honor. Anyways, thank you for your time. It's already been 16 minutes, so I got to go get a puzzle out for my daughter. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Have a nice day.